Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Okay, I Said Too Much podcast. This podcast episode, we're really just, taking it back. I'm literally laying on my bed. It's that time of the month. I'm not feeling it today, so we are like the most down home recording you can have. That is what we're doing today. So I even turned off my heat so my AC doesn't make noise so I can record on my bed instead of recording in my closet today because I'm just not having it. She came in with a vengeance this month. I'm gonna let her have it because she is really mad at me about something. So I'm like, I need to relax. But it's actually perfect for this week's episode topic because I've had this conversation a couple times here recently, just things I'm no longer entertaining at my big age of 30. I turned 30 last week, and it's there's a lot of things I'm just not doing that I'm not bringing into 2024, that I'm not entertaining in 2024. So it's just, I think the recording on the bed and just not having my whole setup today is just speaking to that. It is speaking to the fact that I'm just I'm over it in a sense. I'm over it right now. I'm slightly struggling. We'll get into our weekly updates. This week was a good week. I'm dreading work tomorrow. When I say I'm dreading work tomorrow, it's an understatement. I haven't been to work since Wednesday of last week. And yeah, I just don't want to walk through those double doors tomorrow. I love my job and it's something like that. But it's when you have not woken up for work in 5 days, how do you get up and wake up for work? Multiple days I woke up early. I think the only day I really slept in was Saturday. So it's not even the fact of sleeping in, but it's I didn't have to wake up to go to work. So that's the part that's damn, go to work tomorrow. But it's okay. We can get through this, It's nothing I ain't never done before. So what else is going on? We had a good Thanksgiving. I feel like this is the first time in a long time where we have actually not overcooked for Thanksgiving, me and my family. And so I'm very proud of us because usually there's so much food left over and we really didn't have that much leftovers this time. I don't want to eat anything Thanksgiving food related for a very long time though. I can tell you that is not on my agenda anytime soon. What else? I have been content creating out the ass. I have so many TikToks planned and what I've been doing. I've been posting consistently the past few days. Anytime I talk about posting consistently on TikTok, I suddenly stop posting consistently on TikTok. Something just happens when I speak it out there. It just suddenly stops. But I think I'm on a roll and I've got my groove on things. And before I used to feel a way about posting, it's almost embarrassing in a kind of way. You don't know, because you technically don't know who your content's going to reach. So it was embarrassing to post my life on the internet. But I had to get over that. I'm I talk into this mic almost every single week about my embarrassing life. I should be able to post my TikToks. If you don't follow me on TikTok, just search my name. You should definitely get on that train because I'm really doing it over there right now. I'm really proud of myself. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week and a lot this weekend. This weekend, last night I had a break in what I was going to be doing in the night. And so I was I could sit here and do nothing, or I could make some content. So what did I do? I got up and made some freaking content. So yeah, definitely more to come. I want to get into more of my niche stuff with my podcast, what I do, because I do everything on my own. So I want to show a little bit more of that. I want to show how I use Canva and all that, finding my niche with things. So we'll see how that goes. Right now I've just been doing day of my life stuff, the trip that we took to Charlotte, and I did my favorite lip combo I set the post. I did me making a drink. So we're going to just experiment on content with TikTok and see where that goes. So that's what I've been doing this weekend. And yeah, so this episode is probably going to be a short one. I don't have an episode plan. I'm coming into this without an episode plan because I just want to be more authentic and I want to just talk from my mind. And sometimes I enjoy those episodes better when I just pick up a mic and talk. And I have it all up here and I just could not be bothered to type it out or write it down. So I'm like, I'm just going to go home and record. And just hopefully this episode is long enough and like concise, like it makes sense. So with that being said, let's just go and get right into our trending topic. So for my trending topic this week, I wanted to talk about something that has been going on recently. And I don't really know like how I personally feel about it. I'm going to be completely honest. I personally think that some of it's getting blown out of proportion. Some of it is very well placed. Like, I wouldn't say anger. I wouldn't say people are angry about this topic, but I want to speak on everyone's favorite TikTok couple, Jalen and Monet, and get into the it hasn't really been TikTok controversy, but people have definitely switched up here in this last week. And I think it stems from people already feeling some type of way about Monet and Jalen not speaking up about the worldly issues that are going on. And then Jalen posted this like outrageous video. And I feel like people just did not appreciate the tone of this, not tone, but like, I can see how people take this video the wrong way. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to start out with first things first. I want to say no one is looking to influencers for political advice. And if you are looking to influencers for political advice, you need to go outside and touch grass. I don't think that's the issue here, but I think people want to humanize the influencers they follow. And so a part of being humanized is seeing that something terrible is going on in the world and speaking on it. And so I think can we still humanize you, or are you a sheep for these brands and these brand deals? And so I will give Monet the benefit of the doubt. She had been posting a lot of stuff about what was going on, about Palestine and how you can help, about a ceasefire onto her Instagram. But as we all know, TikTok is definitely her biggest platform, 100%. And so I think a lot of people were like, oh, I think you're hiding your post on Instagram and not posting on TikTok where you have millions of followers because you don't want to lose brand deals, aka it's just like being very sheepish and just not really like standing up and truly believing in what you're saying. You're just trying to have proof of somewhere where you posted it. And then the rug. I posted about it. I did my due diligence. I am on the right side of history, but you're not going to see that on my biggest platform. So I feel like people were trying to push for her to say something on TikTok. And you can tell when she finally did make a statement about it, she was very uncomfortable. I will say I feel the same way sometimes. Like sometimes putting your thoughts into words to say what you mean on TikTok is very different from reposting things and giving people who truly know what they're talking about a voice. And that's what I have been trying to do on my TikTok. Anything I can to repost about Palestine, Congo, Sudan, like I do it. Okay. And I don't know if Monet had been posting stuff on TikTok, but I think the issue is with a lot of big TikTokers is they're so new to the game. Like Monet is very new. She's very fresh. And so it's like, they don't necessarily know how to navigate how to speak up about what they believe in and how to navigate still having brand deals and still being respected by brands, because brands do drop people for their opinions. You can lose brand deals over your opinions. And so I think it's like trying to find that balance of like, how do I do both? And so I think it is very smart to use your Instagram that has like less of a following to do that. But people are pushing information so hard on TikTok because it reaches so many people. So that's the thing. TikTok reaches millions and millions of people. People will have 14 plus million views on TikToks about things. So I think that's why people like push for you to talk on there about it and push for you to spread the word about it. And I don't think that us as normal adults are looking to these influencers for political advice. I do think some of these children that follow influencers are more swayed by what they see on TV, because I feel like a lot of children just listen to what their parents say, what their parents talk about. So when their favorite influencers are talking about it and expressing how they view things, I do think it pushes the younger generation to do their research and kind of look into things. I'm not saying this is smart. I'm not saying this is a good thing, but I think this is something that they do. And so that's why a lot of older generations are, you got to speak up on TikTok. You got to say something because there's a lot of young people that follow you that are very impressionable. I don't look at Monet any differently. I just see like someone who's trying to navigate probably what is like, she's been doing this for a couple of years, but I feel like this is her first big year as influencing. Like someone like Huda Beauty has been very vocal about how she feels about all this. She is going to make money and she's going to have a very long lasting career. No one's touching Kylie when it comes to fragrances. Like she is going to have a very nice, wealthy career for a very long time. These influencers, I feel like, especially influencers that blew up on TikTok, I think a lot of people are waiting for the bubble to burst on that. And so, yeah, it could be overwhelming to be like, when do I say something? How do I approach it? How do I go about this? Because it's like, I got here so quick. Can I lose it all just as quickly? And I think a lot of these managers, PR people, they don't know how to go about this either. I feel like this is a very new day and age of information being spread very rapidly online. And a lot of these managers don't even know what to tell these influencers on how to navigate this. And I feel like pushing for someone to say something is just going to get those like uncomfortable TikToks where it doesn't seem genuine. And now people are mad because it doesn't seem genuine. And so they just feel like you're capping for the internet to like pacify people. And so all your comments aren't, well, what do you feel about this? What do you feel about this? Because Alex Earl, that's what they blow Alex Earl's comments up. They'll be in her lives just like, do you support this? Do you support that? I also feel like when it's like when you are a person of color and your following is majority people of color, they want to see if you have solidarity for other people of color. I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't give a fuck what Alex Earl thinks, or Brittany Broski. She's another one who, like, I guess she made a close friend's Instagram post that was like, why should I have to say something? Like, that's not what people come to my mind for. Like, why do I need to say this? I don't give a fuck what they think, but I want to know that other people of color have solidarity with people of color. And I think my biggest thing right now is like a lot of people who were like refusing to say anything about Palestine, refusing to be on the right side of history, are now also refusing to say anything about Congo, Sudan, Haiti, and all the things they're going through. So it's like, you just don't have solidarity for people of color, and let's just leave it at that. So I think that's the thing. Like, people don't want to look at Monet as someone who doesn't have, as a person of color, a mixed woman, and say she doesn't have solidarity for other people of color. So I think that's like the biggest thing too. And it's, if you have millions of followers, just repost what you can, make your videos, use a filter. Like, there's so many filters that are like donating the money to Palestine, Congo, all that. So it's like, just do the things. But I think people are trying so hard in this day and age of like inflation being super high, people not affording to have like their own houses and stuff like that. They want to humanize the influencers they watch. And I think being able to relate to people who are going through a terrible situation is, okay, can you humanize yourself to this point of being like, I understand what Palestine's going through, or are you just going to be a sheep for these brand deals? Because so many influencers recently have just proven that they're just sheep. They're just sheep going in the way of what they think they need to go in to keep brand deals, to keep making money, and to keep living in this balloon that they live in. A lot of influencers just live in a very particular balloon and then just go about their way. But let's get into Jalen and his little controversy that he had. So I get it from the point of like gay men being annoyed by this, but I'm just gonna get into it. So basically, the other week or last week or something like that, he basically was like, he made that was like, I am a feminine, sassy man. I carry a purse. Like, I am in touch with my feelings because I know that this is what like helps me benefit my like relationships in my life, blase blase. And so I saw a lot of dark-skinned black men stitch this video and be like, this is all fine and dandy when you are a light-skinned man who's very digestible to not only women of color, but white women, white men, black men. Unfortunately, when you're mixed, you do have a lot of privileges that dark-skinned people don't have. You do get that. That is just point blank. There is a certain privilege of being light-skinned I think this guy said pretty pink lips, like nice digestible features, like digestible black features. Like there is a point where that benefits you a lot. And it is. So a lot of people were saying, yeah, of course, Jalen can come out and be like, oh, I'm a sassy man, I'm feminine, and no one blinks an eye about it. But if a dark-skinned man were to come out and be like, oh, I'm a feminine, sassy man for my partner, she's enjoyed, they're going to be like, no, you're gay. And that's where the thing was, like, if the colorism part of it, that is, oh, you can say all this and do all this and it's no big deal because of how you look, so people aren't automatically putting a label on you. But if a dark-skinned man were to come out and be like, oh, I'm like sassy and feminine, people, and I'm sorry, a lot of women are like this too, a lot of women would say this, they would be like, you're gay. Like they would have very homophobic things to say about it. Personally, for me, I feel like whatever works for you. If him being sassy, I'm using quotation marks, feminine, carrying a purse works for him and Monet seem very freaking happy, then that works for them, okay? I will say, I think it is weird when women get turned off by the more feminine man. Like, especially the type of feminine that Jalen is. Like, yeah, he goes to therapy and he probably cries and he carries a purse. But I feel like if somebody was testing him, he would still be like, what the fuck you trying to do? Like, I feel like there is a very fine line of what people, it's nothing's ever good enough. If a man is too masculine and too, oh, I'm so alpha, it's so fucking annoying. But if a man comes out and says, oh, I'm feminine and I carry a purse and I'm in touch with my feelings, I cry, then it's, if he looks a certain way, oh my god, it's revolutionary, it's the most amazing thing people have ever heard. But if he looks a different way, oh no, you're gay, you like men, just go ahead and admit that you like men. And it's both sides of the spectrum. Both narratives can be like damaging in a way. I just, when I first saw the video, I'm going to admit, I just scrolled past it because I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't care if this light-skinned man is saying he's sassy and carries a purse. I don't care. So I just kept scrolling. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't even pay it really any mind when it was, it was on. And then I started, women were stitching it and being like, this is fucking weird. And I'm like, what? Like, I guess I watched so many videos about people being like, this is weird, like this only works for this certain style of man, it doesn't work for other men. Like a lot of black men get scrutinized for this, which I guess I do understand all that. But I think sometimes influencers make videos, very niche videos about themselves, and then don't expect anyone to relay it out to real life. Like they're not expecting you guys to like deep dive about it that much inside. And so to them, it's just a video. To them, it's just, okay, I'm just expressing how I feel. But I think it goes back to where I say, like, sometimes influencers just live in a bubble. Jalen fully put that video on the internet for him and him only, and how he feels and how he wants to express himself. He did not give a flying fuck how anyone else related to that video. He did not care. He did not care about how the masses were going to feel about that video. Okay, he did not care about how dark-skinned black men were going to feel about that video. He purely made that video for himself and himself only. So I think sometimes people just honestly just take the piss out of things. It's like, you can never make someone happy. If someone came on the internet and was like, I'm a masculine man, like I'm like super, I don't even know how you would describe a masculine man, like they don't carry a purse. I don't know. If someone came on the internet and said that, it would be an uproar. If someone came on the internet and a man was crying and he was like, I'm so sassy and I'm so feminine and blah, there would be an issue. So it's, I don't know. I think I say all this to say, I don't know what y'all want from these new age, like TikTok influencers. I don't know what you want from Monet. I don't know what you want from Jalen. I don't know what you want from, I was going to say E-Kane, but E-Kane is like a whole nother can of worms. I need to do a trending topic episode on E-Kane because that would be fucking wild. But it's like, I don't know what you guys want. I feel like TikTok influencers are such a niche brand of influencers. Like they just literally live in their own world and they make content for them, and honestly really them only. Yes, it benefits them that everyone enjoys it, but it's just so like in their own bubble, and they're just trying to get these brand deals and get to this bag and maybe potentially have a blossoming YouTube career. But it's like, it's so funny because it's like you see really famous YouTubers, they got TikTok and it took them a very long time to get used to TikTok, build their TikTok following. And now you're trying to see these big, huge TikTok influencers merge their way onto YouTube and they're not really able to do it. So yes, they're going to try to protect their TikTok image as much as possible because they can't make it on YouTube. Some of them do. Monet has a pretty good blossoming channel on YouTube, but a lot of these TikTok influencers are good at short form content and short form content only. And so yes, they will do whatever they can to protect that little TikTok platform they have, because it's going to be very fucking hard for them to succeed anywhere else. So that's really my like synopsis of this whole situation. So let's go ahead and get right into our meat and potatoes of this week's episode. So this week, I just want to come on and talk about just all the things in my grown 30s life that I'm just not doing anymore. Okay. I don't know. Like I said, I had a conversation with a friend and we had spoken something like we're just not doing anymore. And I'm like, that is it. That is the podcast episode. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. I didn't plan anything, as you guys know. So if I get a little rambly, I'm sorry. But let's just jump right into the things I'm just not doing anymore. And first things first, replying if I don't want to reply. Sometimes I just feel so overwhelmed with text messages, and this is a new thing. This is a very recent type of thing. Like usually I am a very fast replier. You can always count on me to reply to my text messages. But now it's like sometimes I just don't have anything to say. And sometimes I just don't want to talk to people. And I am no longer feeling bad about not replying. Because I simply do not want to reply. Okay, I simply have nothing to say. I'm going to say this though, just for my friends out there listening, 85% of the time I forgot, but I will say that the other 15% of the time, I just don't feel like replying. And usually the other 15% of the time, I still reply, but I truly did not want to because I did not feel like it. But then I started to feel bad that I didn't reply, so I replied. I'm not doing that shit anymore, okay? I have nothing to say. I literally have absolutely nothing to say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What else? What am I no longer doing? I am no longer in post Instagram. Like, I hate posting on my actual Instagram feed. This has been a long time coming, but I feel like I somehow find a way to, okay, let me post something. I hate posting on my Instagram feed. I will post Instagram stories all day long. I love a good Instagram story, okay? I love curating a beautiful Instagram story. Posting on my actual Instagram feed, and this also goes along with posting on Facebook. I do this thing where I will not go months without posting on Facebook, and then I feel bad, and I'm like, damn, I need to post on Facebook. I have family on here, and so I like come up. No, I'm no longer doing the Facebook photo dumps with the long paragraph about like what's been going on in no. I don't want to do it. I don't care. I guess now it's because I'm focusing so much on like content creating for like the podcast and like TikToks and all that. I have no earthly care in the world to post like in feed Instagram on my personal and on Facebook. I don't care. If I could deactivate my Instagram account, I truly would. Because I just don't care anymore. But my mom would be like, what's going on with my family on Instagram? And I would be like, I don't know, I deactivated my Instagram. And then she would be upset. So I'm not doing it. Okay. I haven't done this yet, but I am going to do this. I am no longer hoarding clothes and shoes just for the sake of having clothes and shoes. And I'm no longer just purchasing clothes and shoes for the sake of having clothes and shoes. Like, I had a moment the other day in my room where I was like, I have so much shit for no fucking reason. I think it's because there's this TikTok creator that gets on my nerves because she just overconsumes in her house. It's just like her TikToks in her house look like those weird Asian TikToks where they have all the gadgets and things, and it's like you're watching it and you're like, no one should have this much gadgets and things. But for me, it's clothes and shoes. Just like, I don't need a new outfit. I don't need a new outfit. I don't need a new pair of shoes. I think so. Go back to my fall bucket list episode. I got my pair of black boots. They're so comfortable. They're so cute. They're wide calf girl friendly. I don't need any other shoes. I have multiple pair of Uggs. I have sneakers. I have boots. Like, I don't need any more shoes. Like, yes, there's a handful of sneakers here and there that I would buy, but I no longer just, it's like sometimes, like, I don't need to keep up with the trends. I don't need to keep up with what everyone is wearing. I have clothes in my closet. I have clothes in my drawers. I have clothes everywhere. Okay, I have so much shit. Okay, I just no longer need to be buying things just to buy them. Okay, like, it just, yeah, I'm like sitting in my room now. My goal next weekend is to go through everything, like, take stuff to donate stuff, take stuff to Plato's Closet, just see what I can get, because I have so much shit. I am no longer declaring big diets, big changes of life, big things. If I'm going to do something in my life now, you will most likely not know about it. If I'm going to make any type of change, I am most likely not going to tell anyone about it. I'm no longer doing these big declarations of, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Because you know what happens when I do that? I don't fucking do it. Okay. I'm just no longer, I just feel like no one needs to know what the fuck I got going on. I already do keep a lot of things like close to the hip, but I feel like when you start eating healthy and you start working out, you want to post it to the Instagram story. You want to do this, you want to do that. Yes, we'll make some TikTok content about it once here in the blue moon. Yes, I most likely will, because it will hopefully become a part of my life. But it's like, you don't need to know. You don't need to know that. No. Next thing, I am no longer babying someone's feelings. I'm so sorry, but I think it's 2023. A lot of shitty things are happening in the world. A lot of things are going on. I'm 30 fucking years old. If you can't handle a little bit of criticism, if you can't handle a little bit of, this is what the fuck I need from you, and anything else you just have to get it together, then I don't know what to tell you. I think okay, I don't want to say that. Like, we're way too sensitive nowadays. But I feel, okay, so some dude kept DMing me and being like, oh, I'm going to take you out. Oh, I'm going to take you out. Okay. And then he would go ghost. And so now he's popped back up. And I'm just like, what do you want? Like, before I would be so nice about it. And, oh, let me just see. No, what do you want? Because at this point, you're wasting my time and you about to piss me off. What do you want? Okay, I don't have time to be the nice guy anymore. I don't have time to be nice to y'all. What do you want before you piss me off? Okay, that's what I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer coddling and holding your feelings in my hand. No, I don't care. Okay, I got bigger and better fish to fry than your feelings at this exact point in time. Okay, I am no longer trying to act like I like certain things that I don't like. This mainly goes with reading. I have been kicking myself in the ass recently because I'm like, I need to get into the romance novels. I need to get into the type of books everybody reads. No, I'm no longer trying to act like I like something just for the sake because everyone else likes it. I can't do that anymore. I like thriller books only. That's only what I want to read. Okay, maybe something else will get my attention and I will give like very popular books a try that are like have a lot of good reviews. Yes. But I'm not going to try to like something for the sake of liking it because everyone else around me likes it. I'm 30. I think I know what I like by now. And I think I know what I don't like. And yes, it's nice to be like, oh, I can relate because everyone is like reading this. Everyone is like watching this. Let me do it too. Chances are I'm not going to like it. I might go back and like it. And you know what? I'm no longer going to act like that's a bad that is a bad thing. There's so many things that I like was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna like it. I revisit it later on and I was like, oh no, I actually do really like this. I'm not gonna feel bad about that anymore because sometimes you just need a little time to really digest it. Sometimes I'm not always gonna enjoy the hype, okay? And I just need the hype to die down for me to like it, okay? Another big thing, I am no longer, and I think I talked about this in the beginning of the episode, but I'm just no longer feeling bad about posting the content and being like, oh, I used to be like, oh my God. Because, okay, they say one really good way to grow a following and to grow it quickly is to post TikToks 3 times a day. There's no way that's just not happening. And it just would never happen. So I'm like, even posting my one TikTok a day, I'm like, oh, I'm so annoying. Oh, it just feels so annoying. I'm not annoying. If I want to make this a career, if I want to make this a job, if I want to gain like the popularity on TikTok to then use that to gain the popularity in my podcast, I have to post. And if you're annoyed that I'm posting, there's a block button, because I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, I gotta do it. This is the job. This is a job. Okay, I am, and this might change eventually, but I am no longer buying coffee. This is crazy, but I have perfected my at-home iced coffee routine. I am no longer buying coffee. I'm making my coffee at home, and it's going to taste so good. I will buy an unhealthy amount of different cups so I can have all the different cups to make my coffee in. But I have been like on this grind of just like making my coffee at the house, and it's been so good that I'm like, I'm not buying coffee anymore. No, I don't want to go buy coffee. I make it at my home, and I make it at my house, and it's so good. Okay, it's so good. Okay, I love it. What else? I am no longer trying to be overly friendly. And I think this is something I had to learn in my 30s. I'm just not a friendly person. I'm friendly and okay, so I'm nice. I'm a sweetheart. I'm so nice to people. I am just not friendly. And I think sometimes that's okay to say. If I see someone that I haven't seen for a long time out in public, there is a 90% chance I don't want to talk to them. I have nothing to say. Okay. And I'm going to no longer pretend like I have something to say. I have nothing to say to you. I just don't want to be friendly anymore. Okay. It's exhausting. Do you know how exhausting it is just being so overly friendly all the time? I am exhausted by it. Okay. I have nothing to say to this person I haven't seen in 3 years. Like, not even that long. I was at the train station last week. I don't know when that was, 2 weeks ago. And me and my friend saw someone we had hung out with once. I had not shit to say to that girl. Okay. Do not bring her over here. Do not call her over here. I'm not friendly. It's just one of those traits I had to learn about myself. I'm not friendly. Okay. And then to piggyback on what I said earlier, I'm no longer trying to follow trends when it comes to what I wear. I know what I like to wear. I know what I look good in. Is there a way to make it trendy? Yes, but I just need to wear what I like to wear and just not worry about it. I have finally started doing that with my makeup. I have perfected my makeup routine to like exactly what I like. I'm no longer trying to be a trendy gal, okay? Like it's just not in it for me. It's just not in it for me anymore. So yeah, these are all the things I think the most beautiful part about turning 30 that I have experienced is I just care so much less. I care so much less. I know what I like. I know who I am as a person, and that's really all that matters to me. I feel like so much of my life, and I feel like a lot of Black women will relate to this. So much of my life, I have spent it trying to conform and trying to be a certain person for people so I'm more easily digestible. Okay. I'm no longer doing that. I'm a grown ass woman. Okay. I'm a grown ass woman with grown ass needs who knows who she is in life. And that's all that fucking matters. That is literally all that matters. I can no longer have an very like teenage way of looking at things. And I think a very teenage way of looking at things is how can I be the most digestible for the most people? And I did that for so fucking long. Okay. And I'm no longer doing that at this age. I'm no longer trying to make my personality or who I am easier for you. Okay. You either get with it or you get lost. So yeah, these are the things I'm no longer doing. And even if you're not 30, I think you should take into consideration it is okay to be 100% sure of yourself and not to second guess that at all and not feel like you have to keep up with the Joneses. That is okay. It is 100% okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into our song of the week. My song of the week this week is actually a new artist. He's not a new artist. Actually, I have talked about him before on one of my previous songs of the week. I was trying to be like, oh, I have someone new for you guys that I've never talked about before. But I have talked about him. But Lil Yachty just came out with a new album. It's called Slide. I haven't listened to all of it. And I think it's just like an EP, or it's not complete, or it's not all the way out yet. Because only a few songs are showing. Let me look this up. Okay, so it is a new album, but it's only got like 3 songs. Also, I did not know Lil Yachty was signed to Quality Control Music. I did not know that. But yeah, so the album's called Slide, and it has 3 songs, but the one is my song of the week this week is Solo Steppin' Creep Boy. This song is so good. It's such a ride in the car type of song. I put it on my birthday playlist. So if you look up my name on Spotify, you can find my playlist. When Kayla got married, I have a wedding like get ready playlist, and I have my birthday playlist on there, both on Spotify, along with the I Said Too Much podcast playlist is on there with Spotify. But I found that song when I was making my birthday playlist, and because Spotify will recommend songs to add to the playlist, and so I found that one, and I was like, oh my god, this song, I feel like I don't give Lil Yachty enough credit. And recently I've been watching more of like his podcast too. So I think that's why I was like, oh, Lil Yachty got a new album. Let me listen to this real quick. And I really enjoy that song. Like I said, it's like the perfect like ride in the car music, or if you're getting ready, I think that's a good song too. So I already forgot what it's called. Solo Steppin' Creep Boy by Lil Yachty is our song of the week. And as always, I'm going to tell you guys where to find me. So on TikTok, it's just my name. My personal Instagram is just my name. And then the podcast page is istm.podcast on Instagram. Follow us there. I like to give all my updates and stuff like that on the podcast Instagram page. So I love you guys, and I will see you next week.